There we go.
Well,
All right. This is wild. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Sam, Tim, J Channel, Global, El Pibe, Drama, Mendez. Mendez up late. Morning, Brock. What's going on, lads? Let me pop out this chat. Hey, Wing. Trying to pop out or get chart going so I can show off some apex executions today. It looks like we're going to have a volatile move. This was a little bit crazy. We haven't swept this low out. We traded back down into this large area of interest, which obviously sent us up yesterday. Now, we wanted that 930 open at least to take this low. We didn't get that. So we've actually got a lot to clean up lower as well. We've got that, we've got that, we've got that. And then we've got this low here, which based off of this higher time frame, you could argue we've actually broken order flow. So my concern is if we trade up, and I'd be looking probably at the, this is where everything started. Right, you got 948 here. I'm waiting for the first 15-minute candle to give me some extensions, of course, but this area lines up pretty nicely with this range where we got this lethargic movement. How often do we talk about this? Lethargic movement leads to higher time frame movement, right? This is not of a higher time frame. This is. We want to be aligned with them, right? Just trying to get some charts and stuff set up, and we'll likely be waiting to take a trade. We'll likely be taking a trade. Just trying to crack the markets, man. The good news is you only need to do it once. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, that's only the first step. Now I've got to be able to do it consistently. Look at this. This is nonsense. Would you, Mikey? You guys hear Mikey, by the way?
I'm just going to let this shake out for a minute, bro.
You guys hear him good? Loud and clear? I made a couple of changes to OBS so that we can hear his lovely voice.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay. As we all know, lovingly, tech is not my strong point. Again, nothing doing, right? If we're going to have a reversal, we're going to create a swing point. We're creating them, but they're not breaking each other. So we're actually still heading higher. Whether or not you want to take this is more of a scalp now. I think we're getting lethargic movement. At some point, this is going to lead to failure. We don't need to be at the top. You can look at that 15-minute, right? If we would have swept and failed there, then that would have been go time. Instead, it looks like we're going to get a nice expansion candle. Maybe we'll get a reversal in here that takes us back into this range here at minimum 860 or so, but not trying to get ahead of this, and certainly can't look long here. I don't think that's viable. Can't really see a strong way of getting involved in here either. No real change in order flow or anything like that, and yeah, kind of gross. I'll get rid of that though. That was the wombo from yesterday that obviously worked out quite nicely. Shocking that they continue. Right? So lethargic movement. People are noticing this. Or at least the algorithm is putting us into a range, whichever methodology you believe. Would I have taken a trade around 640? I'm trying not to scalp as much. I think that taking the directional play or the reversal is far better. I can understand people buying here, but again, like, I don't want to see strong bear bars because that leads to consolidation or lethargic movement. Based on the 5-minute sweep, I don't see a 5-minute sweep. If we would have traded back down and taken 53, I would have actually expected that. Oh, 640. 640. I'm thinking 940. The hell? 640. 640. The hell? I think this is a beautiful trade. Right? I think that this is safer. Anywhere in here I can understand. You've got your inversion here. That's beautiful. Now we're looking for either something to get taken, right? You got your wedge failure here, but you don't, if you're bearish, you don't want to see this. You want to see like gone or like this, gone. Right? So I think that's valid in there. Right, a little bit of a range, pop. We'll see if we get something inside of this. We've got our 15-minute set now as well. Give it. Oh my goodness. Wake up, Kev. There we are. So, rocket ship, going on a trip, or death. They've kindly put the extensions here right underneath our low target. And they've also put the midpoint of this right above our high target. This one being the The Wombo, I don't think this is really going... You might get held up here. I'm not really going to look at this with high conviction. I'm going to leave it on the chart just for analysis, but very unlikely that I will take a trade from here. I like the synchronicity of it, but given the velocity of the 50-minute opening range, I'm not inclined really to be hitting that. Now, if something comes out and it's like, hey, let's go, then all right, let's do it. But no bueno. Still no trades on anything for me. We'll see how it goes. Been doing a lot of introspection as I near getting by far the biggest payout of my career. And the interesting, wow, I can't even speak. The interesting thing about achieving anything in trading or otherwise is that getting one payout, even yourselves you don't really cheer for yourselves that way. You're like, yes, okay, but often the comparison comes in, or we tend to like should all over ourselves with the achievement or whatever goes on, because there's that daunting task of getting it to be consistent. Right? And we tend to not cheer for ourselves for the one-offs. We don't tend to cheer if we have a green day yesterday. We don't really care. Right? For the same reason that we should also not cheer for ourselves like when we go to the gym once, or whether we eat healthy once or whatever. You know? Like, and I think that's the main reason that the majority of people don't really find success. It's like consistency never really looks impressive. One day off or 1 week off or anything like that. It's never in the moment, right? It always looks impressive at the end. But it's so hard to see that. Little food for thought today. Let's get back to the charts, Kev. No more of this nonsense. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Now, personally, what I see here, like, violent, cool. I wouldn't be surprised if we either based here and then we had some form of a liquidity sweep, which then got immediately bought up, and then we go. Ideally, I'd like to see an inversion there. That will be one of the few reasons for me to get involved. And you can probably argue, like, pretty much just long anywhere, and you'd probably be fine. You have that low at 65. Well, we swept it out there, right? Bullish order flow and a sweep, but you'd have to have very high conviction that we're going quite a bit higher. Something similar to this would be ideal. We were just talking about. Yeah, it is very boring. It's a very good way of putting it. I think consistency is extremely boring. People say that trading should be boring, and that's when trading like unlocks itself. And I think I understand the premise behind it, right? You should know your system and your executions so well that it becomes just like, okay, it's just another day, just another $5,000 trade, just another whatever. But you got to also have fun with it. It's got to be exciting, right? But it's that pull power. I'd be very cautious here, guys. with the selling that's going in. By the way, if you are long, it's a little bit of a flip. I'm not going to take the short if it does present itself. Similar to yesterday, I think that, you've got this spike. Sure, you might have this that happens, but I think that would take this low. You're getting a nice little 5-minute accumulation manipulation, perhaps. We have not yet traded back into our prior zone. But I just don't like the order flow that's coming in. But yeah, it's that pull willpower. That future aspect that's consistently pulling us in, giving us, replenishing our energy because something's so powerful, so exciting in the future that we can endure pretty much anything in the present to make it happen. Look at this nonsense.
That was the data low that got ripped out this morning. So,
Do we have news today?
no, but from FOMC yesterday.
Oh, that one? Yeah. Yeah, I love this area. Actually, I owe you guys a chart too. All right, so if you look at your 15-minute. Actually, no, we didn't close underneath it. Not even.
No.
Tried. Nope. That was a beautiful wombo trade yesterday. Everybody trying to catch the top, aren't they? Everybody trying to catch the top. Eventually they'll get paid. Hopefully they don't blow up until they do. But it's far easier, far safer to wait for that reversal pattern. You got 5 minutes till 10. Do we check and see, make sure we don't have anything going on today? No, we've got orange folder.
Isn't there some numbers at 10, or did they already come out?
No, it was unemployment at 8:30. Unemployment at 8:30, which didn't really seem like it had a huge kaboom. Like, there's your 8:30 candle.
Something kaboomed overnight, though. That's for damn sure.
Something kaboomed. There's your London session. Would you even have gotten?
Maybe there's something up at the top, but
Nothing really, eh? Nothing really. Maybe like death. Like, look at these. Like, other than this, you've got like chop, 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 death. Little retrace, boom, 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 bang. And then just see you later. How low can it go? Well, morning, Rahul. No real imbalance or anything going on here. I don't really like it this close to the hourly. I think that this kind of price action needs something pretty conclusive. I can understand if this fails here to validate and we start unloading, but I'm not trying to get in at the top. Green right up until it's not. It is, yes. It is, yes. This is your first, well, you could argue this one, I suppose, but again, Very aggressive way of looking at this, right? It looks great in hindsight. Again, I wanted that failure, but not like we're trying to determine whether or not this 15 minutes going to fail and turn red. Right? That's an important thing there for sure. The only really important thing we've got is this 5 minute. If we're going to flip bearish, we would expect that to be inverted, right? This is nasty what's going on here on the 15 so far, but I think I'll be more convinced when we have a strong move and then we break. I don't need to be involved early, right? I don't want to get caught if it's just taking liquidity and then running higher, right? But that would have been a decent scalp. I think that we've gotten, well, that's low of 58.50, 57. So we technically have a swing here. Right? Technically, I mean, you'd probably draw it like this. Right? So you could argue that's actually tapped into it and mitigated it. Right? Finally getting our body closure outside of it there. But this is sus for me on both sides. Wait and see what 10 a.m. brings. A wise man once told me that if she starts running at 9:30, don't get in front of that until you see something at
10
or so.
10:30. $15 looks like it's going to close above the opening range here.
Yeah, it was a beautiful recovery, wasn't it? 35 seconds, 16 points. Can they do it? Come on, Bears. Give us the death.
$8.52 is interesting to me now.
20 seconds.
Wild.
Yup. There's your Wombo area. Again, not going to be taking this. It looks like it wants to actually explode here, so cautious. Getting that sort of chop on the order book. What do we think? 48.5? Death? Probably not. Probably not. So you got a 15-minute closure inside. Right? You got this low here at 880. Pretty strong imbalance now. No real SNDR that broke anything. This is just running all gas, no brakes. And you might argue as well, like, well, don't you like money? Why aren't you going long here if you're expecting that much higher? Well, that's true. But our job, first and foremost, is to manage risk. It's to manage risk. And if I was going to go long here, I'd have to put a stop underneath here. And I'm not really comfortable with a 40-point risk on that trade with a potential third push. Just not my system.
Wild.
Right, so let's get rid of this. As expected, based off of the 15-minute projections, we weren't really looking at that Wombo. I think if you were going to consider what area was an SNDR, we're kind of in, well, we've actually broken that now. You'd probably look at this swing. But all gas, no brakes. Michelle and Vanda getting paid today, I think. I think en route to this, similar to yesterday, you might get a little bit of a top, which then brings us back into consolidation and then runs. That would be ideal. That would be ideal, but shall see. And it's important as well, I think, to gauge the personality of the strength of the move. For example, what ends up happening here. You would expect after climactic price action, people will sell. Right? Algorithms will look at the ATR of the candles. And if there's a massive increase in the ATR of the candles of the last X number of periods, then usually you'll get a bunch of sell pressure after a bar like that. And I think that's justified. Again, I need to wait for something conclusive. This is all gas, no brakes. Great. Love it. But what do you do?
How do you get involved in this?
What do you do? You're buying bear bars. That's working out. Very happy if anybody used green. You won't catch me longing the top, that's for sure. And you never know where the top's going to be. I need retracements in order to get involved, or I need a break in order flow, which then allows me to get short. Right? You could argue this if you had very, very high conviction that you're going higher, but not my jam. And guess what? I don't really need to chase either. As soon as we see our stuff, that's how we're getting 100-gram payouts, right?
Holy, look at the last 4-hour candle.
Get out of here.
What the breaks to the sellers, man.
Good morning, Matthias. I think a lot of the time what we're able to like educate and teach based off of price action is great, but our state and our story really depend or determine a lot of that. And quite often learning sort of when to sit on your hands, even though you might be able to make money. I think that it's far more important of a skill. Oh, 20,000 even, quick. Take your profits. I joke, it might end up being a good short. I think you want to see this imbalance fail first. You got this one here. And again, if we're looking to trade back into this. If you get a nice closure underneath here. Still risky. You're really trading against higher time frame order flow. But I think that would be a flip in the algo if we can get a closure and then tap back into this. Right, certainly looks deadly. Can't jump ahead of it for sure, just in case it's sweeping down, and then you get caught in this, and you're like, please, please. My desktop. I spend zero time on my desktop. I don't even know what picture's on there, but I'm sure you guys don't want to look at it. Right? So you need that body closure. Who's made that mistake before? If you're trading inversions. Now, I mean, if it trades up into this and it continues failing, then that's something else. But I cannot justify getting involved just yet. This looks like it just suckered in some more longs, at least at this point. But again, chopping around, can't really justify it. I'm sure this is going to be a good for 20 points if this can fail or at least close. It's got to close above this 0825. Otherwise, this is going to be a very short trip. There it goes. There it goes, there it goes, there it goes. Closure underneath this imbalance, right? So that would have triggered me in short had this candle closed, say, underneath here, this one. The fact that it didn't, I actually considered a long, but I really don't like going long when I spot a change in personality on the order flow. But that would have been a nice scalp to the highs. Right, but I don't like the personality of the chart right now, so I'm staying away, which is pretty much the only thing I can control. If I hit the button anywhere, well, guess what? It's now no longer in my control. Right, but I think that would have been a valid trade, and I'll this will be one. It'll give. Trying to give more charts to you guys for valid setups. Today. Let's leave that there. Right, this looks like it just wants to charge.
Yeah, bro.
Right, bouncing off of these areas, right? You've got your swing point low. There's definitely a lot of selling that came in. You could argue we're overextended, but that really does not matter if the higher time frame is just shoving to an area of interest. And it very well could cook all of these. Right? That high wasn't swept out. That high wasn't swept out. We've got all the liquidity actually still resting above this at 92.75. How easy for me to say in hindsight, right? But in reality, we were talking about this from the day and how strong the response was to this. The 15-minute drives at the open and you get a closure, you're expecting continuation. Whether or not you get a pullback to get a beautiful low-risk entry or not really relevant. We can still anticipate and execute price, right? And then what that also does is if you're taking shorts, you're probably extremely cautious about the targets not being met yet, right? They are retracement by definition. You've got a 5-minute imbalance now. I don't know if I'd take, you'd probably get a long there, but I don't really think that's high probability right now given what's going on here and the order book. Man. I think that's your 5-minute imbalance, isn't it? Yep. Bear bar, yuck. That 15 is just not going to get bearish, but we'll see. It's probably a valid long, off the imbalance.
Let's see here if
Did you take it, or are you waiting for this?
no, I'm waiting, bro. I'm waiting. This is
soup.
I can't get long up here like this high up. I'm just
There it goes. That high at 650. You might get a trade. Well, I mean, again, we're looking at this. So this is big caution. Big caution. In fact, what is that, 15.25? I probably should have been inside this short. Let's see if we get a stab up in the low 20,000s. Can't justify it here, that's for sure. But if we get something up here, maybe stop above the high.
Would have liked if that.
But I think I've just missed it, unfortunately. And I don't think if this fails here and runs up, I don't think I want to be involved in it at all. But if you are short, you're expecting this low to go and probably pretty quickly, I would definitely be break even above this candle. And if you're late to the party, well, you're paying a little for a little bit more confirmation. I would still put your stop above 06. Right. Essentially, you're saying that this 5-minute imbalance isn't going to hold, and you're really looking for an unload. You got nothing really on the 15-minute that's substantiating that. I would have wanted to see that fail pretty hard. Doesn't mean that it still might not crater, but they want to see a body closure above the 6.5.
I would have liked for that 10-10 candle to close below the 10-06 candle.
This one, yeah.
To be a little more clear, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Higher time frame movement, these change in order flows, again, they're so aggressive. You're talking lower time frame structure. And in reality, if the 15-minute or the 4-hour is pushing, and we can pretty much justify that, 3 straight 15-minute candles. Be very, very cautious on picking your spots for lower time frame changes in structure. All right, I do think that was fair from an aggressive standpoint. That's sort of your trigger after the break, but nothing super conclusive that I like. We're dealing with this 5-minute imbalance that seems to be pushing. I think if it lets go, it's really going to let go. You're going to be underneath 68 in a minute or two, and then likely underneath 64 as well. How do you determine failure versus change in order flow? Change in order flow is easy. You got your swing point that breaks below. That's easy. Failure is you need that attempt to resume a trend, right? That can't achieve anything, right? This low needs to put in a new high, or it needs to validate. Now, validations are a little bit more nuanced, but you're essentially looking for the attempt to resume the trend, failing to do so. So if we're looking at this being a bullish trend, which it is, you've now got your sweep, cool, right? We trade back up. We're looking at this failing, and then if that gets swept and can't generate a valid low, now it's going to break this as well, right? So this high, at least so far, has not generated anything. We've got to get underneath this 85 and go. And if we're going to go, we're going to go now. And it's going to be gone. Yeah, I know.
I got short on that 10-11 candle, and then I covered at like break even.
Legend.
Because I just was like, I didn't like the fact that we didn't break below the 10-06 candle. And it was just not, you know what I mean? It was not giving me what I wanted to see. Obviously, it would have ended up being a good trade now, but
look at this. Look at this, right? So I mean, what's the mentorship for? Right? We can wait patiently for our spot. So if you hit it here or anywhere here, pat yourself on the back. That's good execution. And that's fantastic. And if you got shook out off this, that's also equally fine. Because I think you should be on the defensive. I don't think waiting for this for long is viable. But waiting for the break of that swing point, that's excellent. And then all of this, what do we talk about here? How things were changing. That's the experience I try and pass on to you guys, right? Where, okay, I'm seeing a change in personality, and now look at this, right? Where we're now looking at okay, now we need to see a break of a swing point. Maybe we'll get a short out of this. Obviously, it ends up failing. We can't control the outcome. Even then, that would have been a 30-point short. I'm still sitting on my hands here as I didn't see anything conclusive that I liked. And you could argue buying the close here, but again, like not really my style of trading, right? You know, have accumulation. We might get something like this. That would be beautiful for a short, and I think that would run. That would run. In reality, I probably should have buy stopped that high. At least to take this one and then run to 59. We're getting chopped around here, but we'll see. 10:17, we've got a new 15-minute candle. Come on, NQ, let me play. Let me play. Wrong way.
Yeah, bro. I got in there and then just wasn't getting the follow through, so I just covered.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Inside candle. So compression, getting your little bear flags, or bull flags in this case, sorry. Trump speaks at 10:40. Oh, geez.
Here we go.
Set an alarm. I gotta get those t-shirts made. Send you one. I think it's probably a valid scalp for long up to here, but these days are so tricky. Well, it's not really true, I suppose. If you're long pretty much anywhere and you're just following your lows up, you're fine until, well, you probably got stopped out there, but I mean, you have major signs anyways. Don't really think this is how a top is formed. You got your 5 minute. I think we need to sweep this high at minimum. So we'll probably be looking for longs unless this fails.
This inverse is here now.
But we'll see what we got here. Like that a lot. 26 seconds. I doubt it comes back. Right, what we got underneath that low, 2075. Highly unlikely that it comes back now. See if it gets down to 23s. That's why I shouldn't use limit orders. I should have just hit that when it came in. There's no way they leave that 5. There's just no way. We got here 23s. Unlikely. Right, just not what you want to see if it's going to be manipulation. You want to see a top. Like, you want to see a credible high. Bang. Let's go. Unless they leave it for later, and we'll find that out pretty quick. We'll find that out pretty quick. I think I'll hit that there. Then I'll manually exit out of this if that's if it's going to drop 10 points on me. Right, I don't want to see it go underneath this low. I want to see that imbalance hold and put in a new high. This is a little bit more violent than I'd like, but idea remains the same. Put that there, 10 points. Which is about that low anyway. But this needs to run or else I'm going to exit manually here. Expecting this and then a trade into 59s. I doubt we leave this for later. This is just not how I expect to see a top form. But she's got to get going now or I'm going to be flat. You know what? I'm actually going to move that to break even now. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. That'll do.
Nice, bro.
That'll do. Am I too early or selling too early? Very likely. Very, very likely. But like the uncle says,
this is crazy.
You see a couple $100 bill on the ground. Well, in this case, $971 on the ground per account. Anybody else hit anything in there, or was it a little bit too aggressive for you guys? I can understand if it was. But it was the first sort of justified type move that I could get a hold of on the long side with the target higher. And still looking like a fool with a sell. Hit the 10-15 long. Sam, I am. My goodness, man. My goodness. All right. Give this guy a platform. Give this guy a platform. Wish I was still holding. Yeah, you and I both, bro. But took the trade to the highs. Didn't want to get chopped around if it was going to start giving 10-30 vibes. 10-25 coming in hot. Again. Hit long after the 10-20 candle and stop hit before it ran. 10-20. Your stop hit? Where you hit it here? Or you stop break even? Ooh. Up here? That's all right. That's all right. Right? You want to definitely be, if you're going to hit the imbalance, or at least you're taking some form of price action off of its failure. Yeah. But, yeah. We're now into extensions. Man, we got to get some options going.
Oh.
We'll chat about that. I am... Yeah. Nine days left before I request.
Is this just going to be one of those gross, like...
unlimited bid days? Very possibly.
Yeah, bro. You give a guy a chance to get involved here.
Patience pays. Patience pays. You want to do the nasty thing?
What's that?
So because of the swing trade I took yesterday,
Yeah.
So ETF's rules are you have to have 23% of your biggest winning day in order to qualify for an active trading day. You need 10 of those for a payday. So I'm at 9 active trading days on this account.
Yeah.
And I need to make just over $1,000 per day just to qualify for an active trading day on this one. Which isn't crazy, but I'm at 971 now, so that extra $60.
Yeah, that's the danger there.
Yeah, that's the just another point. Just 1 point on 5 cons.
Bro, I can remember back in the day, like when you'd get like $200-300 away from getting a combine, you know what I mean? And then you just go nuclear meltdown.
Yeah. See, your problems don't go away, lads. They just change form. They just change form. Man, I wish I could make $100 in the market. Just $100 a day. That's it. That's all I want.
Then you just start doing dumb shit.
That's all I want. $100 a day. And then,
if this goes to the high here, I'll get $100. Then I'll be finished. And then it just like nukes.
Just another 5 points.
Yeah.
Account blown. Okay. 1029. Caution. Still don't really see. I mean, if this gets wrecked, then you'd probably be able to justify. You've got your first intermediate, your second intermediate. This is your third intermediate push. This would be the time frame where you're expecting a pullback. Right? Look at your 5 now. You got 38 seconds. There's your 15. I would have loved to see a 15-minute sweep, especially taking that high. They didn't let the ICT traders get their draw just yet, unfortunately. But I think it'll end up hitting it regardless, especially if it like nukes this or doesn't nuke that. Sorry. But yeah. It's funny, eh? Like every trader, they have different stuff that they have. Everybody goes through it a little bit differently, but the hurdles are all the same, right? First, you got to make money. Then you got to learn to keep the money. Then you got to learn how to make the money consistently. Then you got to learn how to not lose money consistently. And we tend to make that a lot more complicated, don't we? You're in this short, aren't you? Or you're stalking it?
No, I'm not. I'm looking down at like 963.
Yeah, why don't I have midnight open on this? Oh, I don't have that indicator. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, it just failed at midnight.
Great.
83 was the midnight open.
2-day open, there we are. And I want 1800 as well.
Yeah, 1800 is down, like kind of like at the area of interest.
Yeah.
Could potentially.
Look at that. What a schmuck. Get those labels off though. That didn't work. Sorry, lads. That didn't work either. Great. Well, whatever. Man. When this works, eh?
Yeah, look, there's a nice little shelf that I cleaned out on the 15 too. Okay, Chunk, you gotta get down, bro. Dog is just like in my lap. Desk. It's like, brother. Mm. He comes over and just puts his like 2 paws up on my leg. Bring me up, Dad.
Too funny.
Okay, I'm gonna run down and fill up my coffee and get this dog off my lap. I'll be back in.
Is that show pivots? Is that what that is? Hey, wing! There you are. Nasty business, that. This is the first aggressive selling. Now, that also could give us an intermediate time frame. And then that would be your high quality short. But we'll see what goes on here. I'm definitely not looking long by any stretch of the imagination. Right? Not looking long by any stretch of the imagination. Nice valid high candle. We did tap into the wick of it and respected that quite heavily, so I'd be very, very cautious if I was long. Or at least thinking long. This could just nuke this, and then that'll be your next swing point, I think, that we went long from. And then especially if we take this, then we're going back, I think, into the morning range at 907. Get that there. Yeah, that there. Alright, but if you're long, you definitely don't want this respected, that wick there. 62.5 is that open? Okay. Does she let go? Does she let go? She's got to take 13.75 immediately after. You got a flat bottom here too at 32.5. Just took that. You might get a little bit of buying because significant players were buying that for sure. But I am thinking we are bearish. I mean, that's predominantly from this. $10.27. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Only one trade from me so far. Can justify a few scalps, but not really interested in scalping in this. Although that would have been extremely profitable this morning. $33.75, $34.50. Couldn't close underneath that. That's nasty. So you do have order flow, but that high looks like it wants to get wrecked. There it goes. And we'll see if this has got the juice. I'd be shocked if it didn't. At least to take this, then take this, and then... Do we want to fly? Do we fly to this? I suppose that's in the cards, isn't it? I think 92.75 is the low-hanging fruit for sure, but I honestly was still looking for lower until the 15 minutes started expanding. And that's mainly because we had such a strong push and then that kind of bounced. But got to react accordingly. So we'll see if we bounce off this or not. That's already done its job. Again, this is, at worst, this is going to be a range. Or sorry, at best, from the bullish side. Right? And if we do create an SMDR here and we range bound, and in reality we are, right? We've got a valid low here after creating a valid high, right? Body closures underneath, body closures above. This didn't break structure. I think you'd be hard pressed to find a valid high in here because we'd need a body closure underneath that, and that would signal death to me. So my guess is you get a body closure above that candle at worst, and then if we're going to create an SMDR, then that's purpose is going to run this 143 high as well. Little mini SMDR created too. That should break 86s. Good hindsight because we're 5 points away, but you guys can understand the thought process as soon as we failed here. Expansion, right? Because we expect this to be second distribution gone. It'd be interesting to see if we range in here or not. There's your body closure above this candle. So if we are going to create a range, we would get a body closure underneath that, and we would base here. Probably for another 10 to 15 minutes. If definitely no shorts for me, even if that does end up working out at midnight open underneath this candle, 64s. I'd be shocked if we didn't take 92.75. It might have to wait until later on in the day. Here comes your valid high. So we are at worst creating a range, which would function as an SMDR. And now our target is 143. Assuming that this doesn't just crater and this wasn't your trade back in to do that. I think people will expect the range. And now we've got this midpoint, which you're expecting it to bounce off of and chop around at. So no trades in the middle, avoid that entirely. You're looking to fade extremes or get involved on a change in personality, in my opinion. I liked this idea in the interim. It's probably still valid. But, well, I mean, 52.50, that was one tick away. Sorry, lads. Are we green here, lads? How are we doing? Anybody get chopped up trying to short? Or did we take one short and then stayed away and then took a long and made it back? What's going on? Talk to me. Right, this is sort of the accumulation, manipulation, trade up. This very well could continue lower, at least into this. But again, range-bound behavior. Range-bound behavior. I do expect this. Certainly 92.75. The question is, will it save it later? In which case we won't take the liquidity above this 86.75. Green took two longs. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Locked out. Good. I think it's important as well to determine what time of day you excel at. For the majority of the time that Mikey and I have been trading together, he actually was trading afternoons. And he excelled at the afternoon. He flew in the afternoon. To the point where he actually converted me to wanting to try and trade in the afternoon.
Asia, too.
Well, I mean, you still kill Asia.
Yeah.
But you don't trade afternoons as much anymore.
No, usually like after around 1:30, I just, unless the morning's really choppy, you know what I mean? So I find the morning sets up like the good liquidity runs, like resistance, like low resistance liquidity, right?
This is going to squeeze. This is going to squeeze hard. There it goes. There's the 92.75. And do we get our S&DR 143s?
That buy side is flipped out.
Or do we leave that for later?
Man, I hate these days because like I just can't responsibly get involved.
I know, bro. New 15-minute candle going to be opening here in a sec. If they give me something here, I might swing this for that high if we chop around in here. But that would be on Apex. I don't think I'd take that on ETF. New 15-minute candle probably take this high as well. 100, I'd be shocked if we left that. But we might get a little bit of a flush first.
Okay, at least we closed above them at 15.
Oh, we're not going to get anything back, are we? That's a little violent. Now what? Back to midnight open and taking the liquidity. Are we going to rebalance? You know, find out very, very soon. That's the thing. Don't you just wait for certain market conditions, no matter what time they form? Not meaning more volatility and why, but generally. Yeah, but I mean, I think we can all agree that there's certain times where we expect reversals to form more often. And if you excel at taking reversal trades, then you're very likely going to have a much higher win rate at specific times. Right? If you take continuation trades and you're trading XYZ, or you excel at volatile environments, then you probably have a much different win rate around like the 9:30 open or continuation, or maybe even noon for reversals. This is actually concerning. That just blasted through 100, and now we're kind of chopping around. I don't really like this order flow at all. But again, when in Rome. I think we get a little bit more of a squeeze here if this can finally lift. And again, SNDR idea is to take this. I'd be a little shocked if we didn't. I just don't like how much selling's coming in here. But I'm long, so we'll see. I think the longer it chops around in here, you saw things speed up and then slow down. Now it's starting to speed up. That's a little concerning. We're either going to squeeze here or we're going to crater. I'm still holding long, but I'm break even if it comes back down.
If this wants to go, it's got a nice run down to 9,773.
That was really good defense of the 90s, but you guys kind of saw a little bit of that shift. I'd be very concerned if this low swept, but even then, like order flow wise, this is selling off hard. So very big caution here, lads. Right back into our SNDR area. This is going to be important if it holds here or not. Again, 1050, strong selling. Yuck, really? Nice, there's your 5, nasty. Your 15 actually looking quite beautiful for a sell-off anyway. We'll see what ends up happening. I think if it trades back up to mid-8 open, you might get a bounce for lower, but not really liking what I see on there. We're kind of back down the midpoint of this swing, and your aligns with your SNDR.
I'm in the shorts at 81. Might come back and put me out.
Beautiful, bro.
I'm gonna just take this here. Okay. Yeah, not really, bro. This runs. But I'm more interested in the longs down at like the 970 level. It was kind of like one of those. After that 1049 candle, I hit it.
Nice.
But
after that one, yeah.
Yeah.
There goes that low.
Yeah, like I say, like see how we got like kind of like set up like a low resistance liquidity run down to like the 1015 candle low if it wants to.
No. Right to the midpoint. See if you get a trade back up to midnight open. I think if you're short, you're obviously sitting quite pretty. I don't really like that, but again, you've got a bit of an unload here. You'd expect a second leg. This will be a very important bar. You gotta be looking for 22s as well.
Yeah, that low there.
And this might give like this, which would then do that. That high being 76, midnight open is just above 82. Did that close underneath? 60.25, 60.50. Okay, so that actually closed underneath. So this is your valid low candle as well. Inside of the SNDR, which just got liquidated. So cautious. We did get a nice 15-minute shove, but that's a nasty 15-minute candle. I think you got a lot lower if it wants to continue, but you got this, you've got, it would technically be that low. So you got that there if it wants to continue. And that high as well at 74.75. But this is getting hit hard, lads. Careful. Oh man, that did tap off the open of this, but I couldn't justify getting short there. I wanted something a little bit higher. I don't mind if it fails here. Obviously, if you are short, you want to see it just unload this 50 and then to 22s. I think that was a nasty response. There goes that low as well. You took it off in the double bottom? This is gross. Another weak attempt, at least so far. He is zoned in. I appreciate that. You can understand it too.
Just trying to figure out if this is going to bring it down.
Well, you're going to find out right now. That's another strong attempt.
Yeah, but they're just getting eaten up. There we go. There we go.
Yeah. Go to sleep, 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 go to sleep. Oh man, come on, let go.
Just let me close my position and it'll let go. Let's go. Let's go. Give me 21, baby. Give me 21.
Come on, 22. $22 and then beyond.
Okay, that's good for me.
Man.
That's good for me.
Let's go now. Right, we want that protected low to go. And then I think we actually get a little bit more of a flush than that, which is what I'm holding for.
Yeah, like that. That first 15-minute fair value gap.
Go.
Down at 70.
Flush.
70.
Hasn't got it yet. That's better. I'm gonna take mine off here. Low-hanging fruit. I hit 5 contracts at 62. So I'm going to, sorry, filled at 57, hit it at 62. But wanted it up here, didn't get it. I think you guys are still good to hold personally, but anybody else grab anything short in here? The idea, you're still holding this, Mikey? Sorry.
No. I'm out.
Good,
bro.
lad.
I'm out.
Good lad. I think that's your low-hanging fruit. You would expect even, it probably will unload from here. I think you've got this, and then definitely these lows. If you're swing trading this is beautiful. The idea, and this is reactive, right? This is reactive. So let's go into everything to do with this trade. Everything to do with the idea. We had major target hit initially, right? Inside of our 2.5, midnight open, a whole bunch of stuff was done here. And what else happened? We had a swing form, an SNDR, and that broke. Okay, so we got chopped around, accumulation, manipulation, bang. Now we talked about the change in personality in here, and before that ended up materializing, we could see a little bit of a shift, right? So we want that shift to what we see on the dome or whatever else you guys are looking at. I personally look at the dome, and I like to see like a velocity increase and selling the other way, right? So we got that here, and now we want to see it achieve something, which it did. Like bang, okay, that's initiative, but it also could be a firefly. Whereas we got this happen, we knew that there was a reversal coming somewhat soon, right? Very, very different than this or this or this. Very, very different PA here, right? So that ends up happening. We create an SNDR, right? And I did expect this high to go, and I think we take that later on after we retrace. We'll see. My point is that we spike down, and now we're looking for this low to break. We got that here. Okay. Why that low? Because that's our intermediate time frame swing point. So now we're looking to see, does this trade back up? Ideally, we want the pocket trade. We want our wombo combo aligning with our manipulation leg. But how do we react knowing that it's not going to do that? We're looking at the attempts to rally that have no business doing so, right? We're looking at this movement here. Okay, that's not what you want to see out of a strong rally. We then get sold into. That actually breaks the low here. So now what have we created? We've got a low, a high, a new low. We either do this and then trade back up and fail, or we sweep above this candle and we end up closing bearish here without breaking that swing point. Not good for bulls, right? That means that we're actually basing here, which is doing what? If we're creating a range right above our SNDR low, what are we doing? We're going to snap it. And more importantly, this SNDR's purpose is now to break the protected low. For the same reason that this one broke the high, we're now looking at this one to break the low. Right? So we wait for a range to form, and once you have a range, now you've got a swing point to risk your high off of, because we don't want to be involved if it does this. We want to be waiting for higher prices in that case. So instead, we get a bear bar closure here, and then what happens? Bang. Immediately, bang. Right? 60-50, 16 points, which isn't crazy, but relative terms. Relative terms. Does that make sense? That's very nuanced, but essentially you're trying to not be obsessed with an entry. You're trying to figure out exactly what price is trying to do and what it's seeing, or I can't even speak. What's price attempting to do and what's it succeeding at doing? It's attempting to rally here, and it's failing miserably. How do we know that? Because we couldn't break a swing point. We had our swing point here that put in a new low. Ideally, this would have traded up and immediately filled that imbalance, which then put in a new low. I would have been obsessed with that entry. Obsessed. Right? We don't have to be legends like Mikey getting involved at 90 or wherever the hell he was involved. Right?
Yeah, I took it off and then I got back in on the 1054 candle.
Nothing wrong with that. 1054.
Yeah.
Oh, you got in here.
Yeah. I seen like the 2 and the 3 and the 5 were all kind of doing the same thing. And then I got back involved because I shorted originally when we kind of like around 88 or something like that.
What a guy. It's very hard, right? We don't we haven't been, well, that's not true. Actually, I think Tuesday was very clean. But for the most part, in the last week and a bit, we've had a lot of higher time frame movement that didn't give us that crystal clear entry. You could argue that this was one, but we would want to see some form of an inversion or something like this. We haven't had a ton of model trades. This was a 15-minute sweep, and now we took the low, right? So in reality, we're looking for what? We're looking for accumulation, manipulation. That trade back in didn't get it, right? We then got our SNDR manipulation, broke. We want to trade back in and then go. We didn't really get a strong movement there either. So is there an A+ entry in here? No, absolutely not. Right? But, I mean, if I would have held properly my risk is 20 points on Apex and 50-point target. So if I would have held properly, that would have been a $5,000 trade, and well, you guys are seeing where the payouts are on these accounts right now.
I really like that 75 low. Okay, I'm gonna go fill up my coffee again before I do something stupid here.
All right, bro. We'll wait till Mikey's back, and then I'll go make a coffee as well. My old self would have seen a sweep of that SNDR, would have gone long. Obviously wrong because we just took a higher time frame objective. Yes. Also, and we might do a workshop and go through a whole bunch of charts where we're looking at personality changes in the market. Right? How do reversals form? You have that swing point that you create, we then run the high, break, trade back in, gone. Right? Now, lower time frame ones, obviously they have a lower win rate. Right? Sure, that short might have made some money. But that's essentially how we look at forming. And then from an intermediate time frame perspective, and by that I mean we've got 1040 all the way to being broken at 1052. That's you know, and then it waits another 5 minutes. Well, anybody who has studied time or anything like that, you're probably like, well, yeah, I've been telling you guys for forever. But in reality, you're looking at how long this takes, which tells you that this is an intermediate time frame change in order flow. Right? So you're kind of looking at this going, well, how does a reversal form? Well, we're now doing this. Right? So we can take the longs if it sets up. Cool. You could argue a change in order flow there, but I don't really like that. I need to see a better swing point than that. Or at least an inversion, neither of which happened. I would have taken this based off of price action, I suppose. But the personality of this, it's more like the aphorism of when the market is going to sell off is that when it's ready, you will know. Right? Bing, bang. Right? Like, hello, we're going down. Kaboom. Chop, kaboom. So personality-wise, we're looking at this and going, well, yeah. How low does it go? Does it go low here? And now we start forecasting where we're expecting that tap back in and then death. I need to find myself about 5 points on this account in order to qualify for a payout today. Like, in 100-point range. I gotta find 5 points. What do you guys think? I'll be right back.
No, you're not getting on my laps.
I'll be right back. Be right back. Be right back.
I honestly would have liked a little lower to go higher, but maybe we won't get that. I was looking at the 977 low. Maybe it'll set up like a nice afternoon long out of there. These kind of infinite bid days are not the greatest for my system. I like to either trade reversals or continuation plays, and I just can't get involved in these type of continuations that really don't set up properly. I like to look for like the continuations on the 15-minute chart. This is a 15-minute low, to be fair, but it's just so high up. It's in premium of this like lag up, so. Took the reversal at the top, but now I would personally, I'd like to see the reaction that we get at, if we get down to 74. We got the 1800 open at 950 basically, and then there's like a nice little S&DR that's right under that. That's in discount as well. So yeah, like 925 low.
Sorry about that, lads. Hope you guys got food in you before coffee. Yeah, I usually have water as soon as I wake up. My business coach would kill me if I didn't.
Bro, I go straight to the coffee for this guy.
You go straight to coffee. I used to until I was on the carnivore, and now I wake up and I'm like, let's effing go. Man, can I find 5 points in this shop?
Like I said, I like to see it come down to at least 975 low, and then we got the 1800 at 950.
But I kind of want something up here, so I have a low risk. But
it's a nice little kind of like double top failure that came in at the S&DR. Like if you look over to the S&DR there.
This is beautiful. Yeah, this is beautiful. I had to run upstairs for something, but not. I didn't actually grab a coffee, but no, this is just gonna puke. This is just gonna puke. You do have this though, so like I don't particularly like it because of the change in order flow, but you might get a little bit of a bounce here. By the way, this isn't 4 cons per account on ETF. I only have 2 PAs with them for right now. I'm working on scaling.
Oh, so that's two per?
2 per, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, but it's tricky because you see the 4 con P&L, and if you're not ready for that, so like if you have 5 different accounts and they're all only taking 1 contract, and you have to take a 5 contract position, you'll see like the thousands go on.
That's how they fucking mess with you.
15-minute failed to validate a high. Would you not look for longs? I think that we've got our extensions, and now we've got a major change in order flow. Unless this fails to make a new low here, I think that you would have been looking for that short, and then the expectation of that is this. If it fails to do so, now we've kind of got a little bit of discrepancy in there. I don't think that waiting for this OTE is going to be good anymore. You're only showing trading view if you thought you were showing your DOM. Really?
No, I see the DOM. Oh, it's not on YouTube though.
Can you guys see it now?
No. I've been just looking at it from the Discord, so I've been seeing it, but yeah, I see that it's...
Oh, for God's sake. The entire stream. The entire stream. Great. Son of a... Where was it? Get rid of the nonsense. Oh, this is gross. I'll show you guys where our... Took 1 trade on this. Where was it? There it was. 1 trade. Look at this nonsense. Oh, those are 50-minute candles, whatever. 1 trade. So 980 per. On these accounts anyways. I would have hit that short on this too if I wasn't done, but that's annoying. I thought I was showcasing executions for you guys. Sorry, lads. Okay. Gross, 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 gross. Bouncing from there, that would have been a decent... might have not filled me though. By literally a tick. Yeah, 1 tick. But I think you got to be looking for shorts here still. And that's based on the change in order flow. No real struck. Well, you actually have a valid swing in there, I think. I think this is a valid swing here. All right, that did close above. That was our last structural bull bar, making this a swing. You could argue we've already tapped into it, but I think that 75.25 would be the low target. Oh, that's frustrating. Yeah, there you are. Yeah, what? You guys want to see how to take a $1,000 day and turn it into break even? All you have to do is short here and hold for those 5 points. That's it. That's how easy it is. All right, little lethargic here. Not really wild about taking anything short. I think we probably take this high. But let's gotta validate this candle first, I think. We definitely created a valid low, or sorry, valid high here. Been chopping around ever since, but it's gotta break this. Inside of this, failed to make a new low, at least so far. There goes that high. You might get your trade back down to the 32s. Maybe. What I'll probably wait for is a personality candle. As much as I'm leaning short, this is now not run it at least yet. That's gross. We don't have any 5-minute structure. Nor a 15-minute low, as Drama, I believe, pointed out. The concern is just the sell-off here. We got our second leg. Cool. We've now mitigated the SNDR. If we are going to run, we'll probably run above this, and then we'll take both of these as well. We'll find out on the attempt to resume this trend. If it fails back in here, then you're looking at a run. But it's got to fail, I think. And this will be telling if we're going to be in a range or not. Sorry, that was Sam. You're right. You're right. What's the personality candle? The personality candle is you're expecting a response and you get wrecked. As in these to a lesser extent, right? You want areas of inflection where you have strong selling or strong buying pressure that just yields garbage candles. I think this is probably going to go higher. I don't know if I have to wait for a sweep at 26 and then maybe red to green. There goes the sweep. Open at 31.25.
I want this to clean up some shit lower, man.
That just filled me at 32. There's the 5 points. There's your 5 points. Hey! There we go. Probably get held for a lot longer, but again, looking for well, they're actually probably not going to really like that because it was a very quick trade. But we'll see. We'll see. But the red to green there with the narrative, right? We swept this candle, trade underneath, bang. If that goes red to green, we form a bullish candle. That's how that candle gets formed, right? In reality, I should be holding for that high or break even, but I hit that too. I have to bounce, lads. Wish you all the best. Brock, legend. Did you end up green, bro, or are you gone? Already gone? Legend. Glad to hear it, bro. We'll catch up this week as well. See how you're doing. Therefore, I should bounce. All right. Like it. Like it. let's see. Yeah, I think 1,030. Yeah. Okay, cool. So ETF is done. Apex is done.
Good day at the office.
Good day at the office, man. Good day at the office. I've got one more payout through. I keep talking about this. I got to stop talking about it. I get to request tomorrow with Apex, today with ETF, and then I've got one more payout threshold. I thought it was 4, but it's 6. 6, and then I can take out as much as I want.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Get them back for that when they fucking ripped you on the copier.
Oh, with interest. With interest. I don't want to count my chickens before they're hatched, but $80,000 payout plus, which is
That's a good one when it hits the bank account.
Well, 80,000 US is like 3 million Canadian, isn't it? So,
fuck. Imagine if you're able to request that night that it was like 50 cents on the dollar.
Oh yeah.
That would have been
yeah.
so
Well, it's not
sick.
even like when they send it. Yeah. Yeah.
Just wait for like some more tariff news. Hit it while it's hot.
Yeah. What day is it today? 20th? So you guys can see this. This is one account. To a huge surprise here. This is actually a little wild, but I'll share this anyways at the risk of being slightly embarrassing. So this is one account since the beginning of March. Actually red on the month in longs. I don't know where that comes from. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. That's a little wild. But look at this profitability. Right? So I'm at about 50% on this account, win rate wise. And a lot of that has to do with the size that I'm taking too. Right? A lot of the trades that are working out, like really working out. Right? You see my average winning trade far higher than my average loser. My largest winning trade far higher than my average loser. And I mean, that's not... I just took a trade that was 40 points, so I don't really know what's going on there, but... like, weird. I mean... So this was the two accounts. We'll actually put that screenshot in the or can I put it in the chat? I guess I can't. Yeah, so here's that trade I just took. Right, it actually filled me at 57. That's how awful of a fill that was. And that's 30 points right there on 5 cons, so it's definitely over 3 grand. I've definitely had bigger trades than that, so I don't really know where that's coming from. It's weird. But we don't need this to be at 90% if you're taking size, or not even size, just in general. Right? I don't know really where some of those numbers come from, but wild styles. Let's check check that today. Yeah, weird. 30 points. Even on 5 contracts, that wouldn't have been, I don't know. I don't know, man. Ninja Trader's weird. All I know is it's making a lot of money. But there's 2 different ways, and as you guys know, I'm not scalping nearly as much as as I was previously. But Mikey and I are focusing heavily on directional bias, and then finding ways of getting involved. And even if your win rate's 50%, even if your win rate's 70%, right? If your win rate's 50%, but you're essentially getting 2 to 1 on your trades, you're going to be extremely profitable. And then you work on that win rate. Probably adding in some big fee. Yeah, I don't really know why. Yeah. 975 low for sure. So the question earlier, which we can now see, and the whole idea of training you guys with price action and whatnot is to understand our expectations of price, and then to develop if-then scenarios so that we can get involved in the markets for our given direction. So this means, as we said earlier, that even though you got a 15-minute failure, you've got to look at what structure is doing. You got an internal double top here. We've taken liquidity. Usually that will run this low. And you'll notice as well with this low, we get rid of this. Guess what? We didn't take liquidity here. Why would we do that? Why would we do that? Same reason that we didn't take this high here. We came back down and then we liquidated them both. Right? So we usually leave these liquidity pools, which gives you an added confluence. There comes Zach 75 half. So 1 tick. Come on, lads. All the way back down to the 907 half that we were searching for. All the way back down.
Okay.
Okay. 25 minutes until lunch hour. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? We'll probably go YouTube as well tomorrow, and I think ETF wanted to give away some more accounts. I don't know if you guys are. Nice. Socio said earlier you wanted along from this area. Yeah, I think that like we wanted it. Like you might get a sweep of this. I think that's fair.
Yeah, there's like this low here on the 15-minute is a fair value gap, and then we got the 50% of the discount is down at the 25 low, so just kind of waiting for reactions here. And then we got the 1800 at 950.
Yeah, I think as well we've got a change in order flow. You can see a little bit clearer now on the 5-minute time frame. Right into our wombo combo spot. Right, we've taken that low. So he's talking about this imbalance. We've now taken a key structural low. Ideally this, well, that's beautiful if we can close there and then we get some sort of a weak failure. I think that would get me long as well. And that ideally would trade all the way back back up. It might even liquidate. I'll probably trade back into this SMDR area, 40, 50 points higher. We'll see. man. Beautiful red to green there. Would look for something back into this, but if it runs without me, unfortunately. Did you hit it on the way back up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm stop break even though I'm not playing with this.
Fair.
I hit it at the lows.
Nice, bro.
If I get stopped here, I'm not too concerned.
Might get a sweep of that candle, but you better if it's going to go up, you're going to sweep this candle and it'll be short-lived. This is going to squeeze, I think. I wanted to get involved if that did sweep underneath, but I can't justify it in here. I think if you're along from the lows like Mikey, that's beautiful. You get paid very, very nicely on this trade. But didn't give me anything quality, right? Like this, but barely tapped into the fractal that I wanted. And now it's already hit our target, so we'll see. Nice trade, Mikey. Beautiful.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for that all fucking morning.
So mad. Come on, you prick. All right, I'm going to call it here for the morning. I think we'll open up the stream if we're going to be in the Discord streaming. Please come hang out if you're not in the Discord already. What did I end up with here on this nonsense? 1,033 per. Happy with that. $3,000 on Apex. Happy with that. And lots of patience. Lots of right direction, but no quality execution. And this is just going to go on a rocket ship. You're probably looking at these highs. Again, you've got this, and then that's probably it. Unless
should be like
run that, and then you get like death. But right, and the only reason I suggest lower is also we haven't tapped into the 15-minute opening range yet, which I would expect from the 2.5 of the extension. But we'll see what the lunch hour brings. If we continue chopping up in here, and I think Mikey's long is probably good for here at minimum, with the possibility of also running. We still got that 143 high that was never taken from yesterday. Beautiful long, bro. And then, yeah, if we get like a lunch hour 15-minute, like something like this, and then that extension lines up, then I think we're good to go for a lunch hour sweep. Okay, I'm going to shut down the stream here, guys. I will chat with you guys in a bit. Bye.
Later.